To Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell. I'm here with my great co-host, Hannah.
Hello, people.
Hannah, we're here today for AFI Top 100 10-Year Revisited. But before we begin,
Yes.
let us tell the viewers and the listeners what they should do.
Could you pretty please leave a like and subscribe to our channel? Leave a comment down below, your feedback on this show, your favourite movie on this list so far. Tell us your thoughts.
Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one. On today's episode, we are going to talk about Rocky.
But I won't start singing for copyright reasons. But yes, Rocky!
We love all the movies here that we talk about on the channel.
Yeah.
Especially these AFI Top 100. It's been a great journey so far. But this one is close to home, isn't it?
Yeah, for me recently, you for a long time coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got the 4K here. We watched it on the 4K. It's movie number 57.
Yes.
We've seen it many times. We own the copy. The elevator pitch. A down-on-his-luck fighter gets given the chance to take on the world heavyweight champion. The maker studio, Hannah, is United Artists.
That's correct.
It was released on November 20th, 1976. It goes for 119 minutes. And it has a budget of $1 million. It went $100,000 over. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So it's ended up being 1.1.
Yeah.
Story behind it. Okay, so this movie was written by Sylvester Stallone, the star of the movie. Now, he was in a movie called Lords of Flatbush.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, that movie was really important because a lot of people got to see him in that role, and they thought, oh god, this guy's a really good actor. He actually was in that movie with Henry Winkler, who was the Fonz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm an actor. Yeah.
Hey. Okay, so he had got a manager from that. He still wasn't breaking through or anything like that, but he got a meeting with the producers, Chardhoff and Winkler.
Yes.
They didn't have anything for him. They said, but we'll keep an eye on you. He said, I've got a script. The script that he had at the time was Paradise Alley, and they didn't want to buy that one.
Yeah.
But he also created another script, which he wrote in 3 days after watching Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner fight for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh.
And he created Rocky. Now, they read the script and they loved it. They said, okay, we'll buy the script for you for $300,000. And at the time, Sylvester Stallone had $36 to his name.
Yeah, that's
And he goes, no, but the condition is I need to star in it. Okay, and they said, okay, well, if you star in it, what we'll do is we'll let you star in it. We'll give you 1% of the profit, and we'll also give you 2% for writing it. But you have to write it for free. So you're going to have to do rewrites. So it ended up being 9 rewrites. Now, I'll tell you why there was 9 rewrites in the script.
Yeah.
He wrote the first draft, and in the first draft, Stallone had it much darker. He depicted Mickey as a bitter old racist. He also had, in the end of the film, Rocky throwing the fight after realising he did not want to be a part of the boxing professional world.
Oh, one of those realism moments.
Yeah.
Oh, reality has hit me.
Okay, so at the time, Chardhoff and Winkler were great producers. They had produced They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Which was Oscar nominated. They were producing pictures for Martin Scorsese.
Ooh,
at the time, they were producing New York, New York, which is a famous bomb that,
Yeah.
So they had a first look option with United Artists, Charlie Chaplin's company.
Yeah.
And that first look was for any movie with a budget under $1 million, they'd get to make it hands off and they'd have to release it.
Yeah.
So they said to United Artists, we have this script about boxing. United Artists loved the script, and they were going to get Nick Nolte to play it or Ryan O'Neal.
Oh, yeah.
And they said you can have a budget for $3 million. He goes, no, the writer wants to star in it. And he said, okay, well you have to make it for $1 million. If it goes over, you have to fund it yourself. So they had to put up for the $100,000. They had to mortgage their houses for this. So
they were riding on the underdog
So this
story,
was like
really.
a really low budget film.
Yeah.
There's a couple of scenes in this when we're doing scene breakdown today. I'll tell you like what the original scene was going to be and then what it ended up being.
Yeah, right.
So they were making this movie. They got Sylvester Stallone on. They got John G. Alveston the director on. He had directed a few movies, and one of them was called Save the Tiger, which was Jack Lemmon, and he sort of worked with Chartoff and Winkler.
Okay.
He met Stallone, liked the idea of the movie, especially the script that they ended up finishing, and so he came on board.
Yeah.
So you had the writer, you had the director, and you had the producers, and you had it all in the run line. Now, they had to start getting actresses, right, for the main character of Adrian. So originally they wanted an actress, but her quote was too much. Then they went to Susan Sarandon, and they said no, she was too pretty. Then they went to Cher, and they thought had Cher across the line, but then Cher had asked for too much money, so they ended up auditioning Talia Shire, who was in The Godfather, because her brother directed The Godfather for Coppola.
Yes.
And her and Sylvester Stallone got on like a house on fire, and then they picked her.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
The next character that they found was Burt Young. Now, originally, the character of Paulie was actually Pauline, which was Adrian's mum. They lived together.
Oh.
So that's what the original... So it was similarly based on Rocky's own mother.
Okay.
And so she was a notorious hard ass. He had a real tough upbringing, Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yes.
There's a noted story that when he got nominated for actor and writing for Rocky, he invited his mum.
Oh.
And the mum said, I'll only come if you invite my hairdresser friend. And he goes, well, I only get one ticket. And he goes, well, I'm not coming. So he ended up going alone to the Oscars.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That
and
sucks.
His father was very tough on him. His father plays a cameo in this. So so he had a real tough upbringing. So that's why Burt Young was originally Pauline, but ended up being Burt. Now, Burt Young started in Chinatown, and he was a famous... He started as a boxer himself, and so he was given the role of Paulie. Burgess Meredith, now he wasn't the first choice. The first choice was Lee Strasberg, who played Hyman Roth in Godfather Part 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He played him, so... But his quote was too much. Now... they sent the script to Burgess Meredith. Now, Burgess Meredith had come off starring as the Penguin in the Batman television series.
Yes, he was.
He was like a famous actor in the 50s and 60s as well. He was living in Malibu. They sent the script to him. Actually, Lee Strasberg goes, oh, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, I'm just reading a script. He goes, well, I found the script. It's called Rocky. And Burgess Meredith didn't want to tell him that he'd found the script too. And his quote was a lot less, and so he got the job over Lee Strasberg.
Love it. Okay.
So the last person they had to find was Carl Weathers. Now, for Apollo Creed. Now, they first off, they were going to do heavyweight champions. So they looked at Ken Norton, who was a huge boxer at the time. Joe Frazier had a look at. All athletes had a look at. End up, they auditioned Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers and Sylvester Stallone auditioned together. It was really awkward, and the director goes, oh, what's the matter? And you go, well, if this guy could act, it'd be a lot easier if you had the real actor that's playing Rocky. And he goes, no, this is the guy that wrote and thing. He goes, well, you will improve. And then Sylvester Stallone said, hi, this guy's got the banter was going for it.
Oh,
so that's how Carl
like
Weathers
that's
got
the guy.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I want.
So like you look at these actors, right? They had starred in all these great movies. They went on to star. Some of them not. Burt Young didn't star in many after that. Burgess Meredith, no. Talia Shire, not.
But then
Sylvester Stallone, huge.
Yeah, and
huge.
Carl Weathers as well.
The director and Sylvester Stallone had a really good relationship because making this first one.
Yeah.
Because he was hungry. He was really hungry because he only had $36 to his name. He needed to make this work. If he didn't make this work, he was never going to be a star.
Yeah.
Right? So he had to do this, right? So this movie becomes successful. He got all the fame from this. They later worked to number 5 together, right? And he said he wasn't the same. He was really hard to work with. Sylvester Stallone is a notorious hard person to get along with in Hollywood.
Yeah. I guess because now he's in his own boat that he's sailing.
Yeah, so he... we're going to talk about the other Rocky movies as well. We can't talk about them. But Creed, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He was supposed to win that, and he ended up not winning it. And people put it down to he was really notorious to work with. He is not a fun guy to have on set.
Oh, yeah. So he's like, they were just like, oh, we don't really.
But
Hollywood doesn't really like him anymore.
But on this, they loved him.
Yeah.
So this movie took
Starting
3 days to write and a month of rewrites. Then it took 28 days to film this one. Principal photography began on January 9th, 1976. This movie ended up coming out in November, you know.
Yeah, wow.
Filming took primarily through Philadelphia. There was scene shot in Los Angeles, like the gym, some staging sort of thing like that was in New York. Rocky's house was in Philadelphia. The great Steadicam shots that you see in the movie, they were actually filmed by the actual creator of the Steadicam, Garrett Brown. And it was only used in a couple of movies before this, which is Bound for Glory, which is the running movie, and Marathon Man, which is the movie starring Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
And this famously used it for the Rocky Steps.
Of course, yeah.
The Art Museum, which, you know, a lot of people have been to, I've been to, Hannah's been to, that's an actual spot in Philadelphia. Just doing the research for this movie, you know, a lot of this research that I got from the for this episode, there's great director's commentary with the director, the producer, Talia Shire, Burt Young, Carl Weathers. There's also one with Sylvester Stallone by himself.
Yeah.
And they did it for the 20th anniversary in 1997. And they end up doing for the DVDs, and then they end up doing a 4K version, a Blu-ray version and a 4K version, and they've redone these ones, you know, each time. So that's where the most of the information deemed for this research today.
Yeah, from the mouse.
Yeah. Okay, so reaction to the film this time. 5 out of 5 stars. A lot of people on that, like Siska and Ebert, they love this movie.
Yeah.
The character just growing through,
It's the true, like, underdog story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The box office of the time, Hen. Okay, so let's talk about the movies of that year of 76 in film. So this was the number 1 grossing box office movie. $220 million.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Top 10, Star is Born, 2.
Yeah.
3, King Kong. 4, Silver Streak, which is Richard Pryor movie.
Yep.
All the President's Men at 5. The Omen at 6. Bad News Bears, which is about baseball, kids' baseball team.
Yeah.
7, The Enforcer, which is Clint Eastwood movie. That's at 8. In the Search of Noah's Ark at 9, and Midway, which was number 10.
Yeah, okay.
That's the movies from 1976.
Yeah, I can see. But Rocky, wow.
Rocky, $220 million. So Sylvester Stallone, like, no money, 1%, 2% of that 220.
Nice.
Unbelievable. What a freak. Okay, so this was nominated for many Best Pictures. It won Best Picture, it won Best Director, it won Best Editing. It was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Burgess Meredith. It was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Burt Young. It was also nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Talia Shire. It was also married... Sylvester Stallone was nominated.
Yeah.
Also, and the song, Gonna Fly Now, Bill Conti song.
Oh, yeah.
That was also nominated as well. Okay, it didn't win. It got beaten by Evergreen by Barbra Streisand for thing.
Yeah.
Personally, in my opinion, this was one of the awards that should have won. I think.
Rocky thing?
Yeah, that Gonna Fly Now, it is iconic.
Yeah.
If you look back now, if you were redoing it, you would say it's been voted like in the top 10 of all time. And Barbra Streisand had won many Academy Awards and all that. Yeah,
I think that's the only good thing from her version of Star is Born, unfortunately.
I will say Burgess Meredith, rewatching this movie, was really unlucky. He got beaten by Jason Robards in All the President's Men, which we've also talked about. And we loved that performance. But I think we brought up at the time, Burgess Meredith should have won for Mickey.
Mickey, yeah.
Screenplay, Sylvester Stallone not winning. I think that's where he should have won. Because he got beaten by Paddy Chayefsky for Network, which we've also done on this list as well. And he was nominated against him. Also, Lena Wertmuller for Seven Beauties. Walter Bernstein for The Front. And Cousin was the other one I was nominated as well. John G. Alverson, his career... he after this he did another Rocky movie, and he also did Karate Kid, and he's sort of petered out after that. But like,
I mean,
2 iconic movies, eh?
Yeah.
Can you believe it? The best picture for that year, it was a great year for cinema. You had Rocky, you had All the President's Men, you had Bound for Glory, you had Network, and you had Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that Taxi Driver should have won, but
no,
personally, I'm watching both of those movies, and we've seen all those movies on that list, and I can say Rocky is
Rocky makes way too much sense.
It's Oscar bait. It's public love it. It's just everything, you know. Okay, so reaction to this film recently. Rotten Tomatoes 92, Letterboxd 4.1, IMDb 8.1. Every week we talk about like what's been written about this recently. So I thought instead we'll do the sequels. We'll talk about sequels.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've had Rocky 2, which was in 1979.
A sequel, yes.
And that one is about Rocky.
The rematch. Basically.
Yeah. Well, the outcome of the first fight and how he was struggling with health and
but he also
money.
But he gets a lot of money from it and starts to spend eventually.
Yeah, he just got just wasted the money basically.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He doesn't understand. He got all this fame and it kind of dissipated after the initial fight.
Yeah.
And then he deals with that throughout the movie and then eventually get to the ending.
That's true.
Which is the amazing fight. And
then a couple years later we had Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, which is a huge tonal shift.
Yeah.
It's a completely different. When you get to 3, it's a completely different movie.
Well, the first 2 movies are 2-hour movies, and then the next couple are all just 90-minute, really like popcorn movies.
Yeah.
You know, big blockbuster.
They are blockbuster hits.
Yep. He fights in that.
Yeah,
he fights in that movie multiple times. There's like a montage at the start with fighting. Then he fights a wrestler. Then he fights.
One of the most iconic montage scenes. Yeah.
Then he fights Clubber Lang first, and then Mickey dies, and then. Sorry, spoiler alert. And then, and then he gets trained by Apollo Creed, and then so what an epic movie Rocky 3 is.
Yeah.
Rocky 4 is where he's sort of semi-retired.
He solves the Cold War. Yeah.
He solves the Cold War. Yeah.
Yeah.
He fights Drago because Apollo Creed
unfortunately
passes away.
Yes.
After Rocky 4, which he solved the Cold War, so he should have got the Nobel Peace Prize for that.
Yeah. No, he dealt with a lot of health problems after it. It was a big fight.
Yeah.
He got nothing left in the tank.
And so his great mate, Paulie, cost him his fortune. And
As
so
always.
they have to go back to thing, and he's trains a young up-and-coming fighter, Tommy the Machine Gun.
But also dealing with the fact his son, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's dealing with his son as well.
Yeah, because his son was used to being rich and now he's poor.
And also, it's like he's focusing on this kid instead of focusing on his son. It was a lot of family drama. They try to bring back the drama element in the 5th movie. It just doesn't work as much.
Well, they brought back the whole team and it just didn't work. Then there was a
Rocky Balboa.
20
after
close to a 20-year gap.
Yeah.
It was probably 18 years, I think.
Yeah.
And he created a movie called Rocky Balboa, which there was like a computer game simulation of him fighting the current champion, and Rocky wins. And so then they invite Rocky to fight because Rocky is trying to get his license back because his brain has sorted himself out.
Yeah.
Wow,
amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, brain damage is solved. Adrian has passed away from cancer.
Yeah, tragic.
His son doesn't want him to fight. His son's played by Milo Venomigas, who's from Heroes.
Yeah.
And so he fights the champion of the world in an exhibition fight, and, there you go. And then we get the 3 new ones, which is the spin-offs, Creed. Which is Adonis Creed, who's the son of, an illegitimate son of Apollo Creed.
Yes.
And it gets talked into by Adonis Rocky to train him.
Yeah.
Just like Nikki and Apollo did.
Yeah. And then in the sequel, he fights the son of Khal Drogo, and Khal Drogo also was
Ivan Drago. Yeah.
Ivan Drago, sorry.
Yeah. And then the third one, you get Adonis fighting by himself. No Rocky in this movie.
No.
And so Hannah, let's rank them.
Okay, sure.
Okay, last Rocky 5.
Yeah, sure.
Second last Rocky Balboa. Third last Creed 3.
It's tough, but yeah, that makes sense.
Creed 3.
Yep.
Next, I would say Rocky 2.
Rocky 2? Okay, yeah.
Then next, Creed 2.
Isn't Creed 2 better than Creed 1?
No, Creed 1's best.
I think Creed 2 is better.
Oh, really?
Well, I think I'll go with your assessment right now, but I think personally, I just think Creed 2 is better.
Okay, we'll go Creed 2.
No, just because
We'll go Creed 1.
A lot more emotional weight.
We'll go Creed 1, then we'll go Creed 2.
Because, you know, you have that kind of...
Yeah.
He's getting revenge for his father.
And then
I like
that.
Then we'll go... So
Creed 1, Creed 2.
Creed 1, Creed 2.
Then we'll go...
No, you're putting... Wait.
Then we'll go on Rocky 4.
No.
Then we'll go Rocky 3.
No.
Then we'll go Rocky 1.
No. I love it, but no.
Okay, well...
I'll let you have 3 above them. I won't let you have 4. 4 can't be above the 2.
He solved the Cold War, Hannah.
Yeah, but 4... We're going... Okay, movie-wise, just like basing on the film, not the enjoyment of said film.
Alright, go.
You gotta put 4, then the 2 Creed movies, and then you can put 3, and then you can put 1.
Okay.
Because 4... has that stupid robot, has a racist bully,
he got rid of that. Okay.
And
so it's
the director's cut has everything, but it doesn't have the nails bit. So continue.
Okay, so
can we do? Let's talk about the director's cut of 4.
Okay, let's talk about the director's cut.
So 4, so 4 does have a director's cut that Sylvester Stallone did a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, he had time on his hands, and he thought he would actually rework. He was like, "Okay, I made some mistakes here," and he had some footage and stuff filmed, and so he re-edited it back into the film.
Yeah.
And so he does cut out the robot because he realized, why did I put a robot in? He was just like, that was the time.
Yeah.
Cuts out the robot, the weird poly bits. It cuts out the sun, really. The sun doesn't really play a role at all as well in the movie. But adds in some Apollo moments that weren't there initially, which are really good, that really make you go, oh, that's why Apollo chose to put himself... Like, he was basically putting himself on a firing line, basically, going out and fighting this guy. And has this really amazing, well-acted funeral scene that's not in the movie. That, like, the funeral's in it, but this entire long-length scene is
I want to bring up Sylvester Stallone's acting, because it's a good time to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, doing the... listening to the director's commentary, like, people thought of him as like a young Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
And the fact that his career diverged into an action star, it didn't see it coming, you know.
No.
And that scene that you're talking about in the funeral scene where he says, "I have to
he
thank
wouldn't
you
be
for."
here. Yeah, he wouldn't be
You know,
here.
it is an amazing scene, and when we first saw that, we were in tears.
Yeah,
like it is so
beautiful.
emotional. Like, there's some really emotional bits in all the movies, you know? And, like, rewatching the first one again, like, it is an emotional movie. It is a love story.
It's a love story.
Yeah.
It's a man who is really depressed.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks really bad about himself.
Yeah.
And we'll go into it as well, but, like, he thinks the worst of himself, and he doesn't think he can do anything. Yeah. He doesn't think he can even match up to Apollo. He's like, that's the champ. I can never reach that. And
then number 2, the themes of number 2 is like, I can't do anything else. I'm a fighter, Adrian. Like, you have to let him fight.
He's on like it was like he was born. Yeah. This is the only thing he can
Number
do.
3, that movie's all about fear. Like, fear of losing what you had. Like, he got all this stuff and he cannot believe. He feels like he's a fraud. Mickey's protected him. Mickey dies. He's got no one else to protect him. Like, Mickey was the one there protecting him. And he had that famous beach scene where he goes, you know, I'm afraid. You know, you break it down, I'm afraid. Then 4 is about change. Like, they're getting ready to retire, and Apollo's not ready to retire. He still thinks he's got something, and it costs him his life. Yeah. And then, you know, Adrian's asking him, you can't... You need to change.
And he's still trying to prove himself. And then at the end of it, it cost him, like, everything. Because he couldn't function the way he was before, after the fight. Like, it cost him everything to be a fighter.
And then 5 is all about, when it comes down to it, is he thought that the only thing that he had given to the world was boxing. And the only thing he could give to his family is boxing. But his love for his family, he could give, and that's what it's about.
That's a running theme throughout, is his love, especially his love for Adrian. Yeah. It's always been there.
It's one of the greatest romances of all time. It's right up there with Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Rocky Balboa is all about fighting
Love.
You know, when you think you're on the scrap heap of life.
Oh, it's underdog
Yeah.
through and through.
Yeah.
Even when he gets an ego, he
Yeah.
gets knocked down
Yeah.
enough to make you go, I still
Yeah.
relate to this guy. I still love him.
And then the Creed movies is all about, you know, you getting...
Proving yourself to be more than your name.
Yeah.
Some of that, like
Yeah.
that's some of that story.
Yeah, it is.
Because you know he thinks he has to live up to the legacy of the name.
And Rocky's Sylvester Stallone, Rocky's character in that movie, his part in that movie is
in those movies,
his part in those movies is like showing that he's looking after Apollo's legacy because Apollo did so much for him. Yeah.
Like it's really nice.
A couple of other characters in this that I want to talk about is his son, Sage, who that he lost to depression. He started number 5.
Yes.
You had Tony Burton, who played Duke. He wasn't named in the first one, but he ended up playing in a lot of the movies. He was a great character. Ivan Drago, Mr. T, playing bad guys and some fighters.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Just some characters. I want to talk about, before we go on to Hottie Hot Take, I want to talk about some of the famous lines from the series, you know?
Okay.
Some great liners, you know, like, Yo Adrian, like, wrote, you know, wrote one of the best, you know, get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you.
Yeah.
You know, like, just brilliant, you know?
You want to do my Clover Lane?
Yeah, you do it.
Hey woman, how'd you like to be with a real man? I was like, I love Mr. T as Clover Lane because he's an over the top. This is when you know, like, 3's gone into a different path. He is an over the top villain in a weird way, but you kind of need it because Rocky.
He's a character.
He's a character.
Yeah.
And
It's so good.
especially because the movie gets very dramatic.
When
Mickey's dead.
and Rocky's like.
And it's great to have. I kind of love Apollo taking on the mentor role.
Well, he goes, you're doing it wrong. Barlow?
But
What favour?
But when he's training, what's his training? Can he swim with a name like Rock?
Rocky the tuna.
Okay, I will say 3 has my favourite Paulie line, which is
Can I have a job?
Can I have a job?
We'll talk about Paulie in a second, and then you got 3 other couple of lines. You know, what strategy? You know, like he comes up with a strategy for the fight. You know, the sort of like rope-a-dope sort of thing. You know, I have the tiger, Rock. I have the tiger. Like, just such great songs. 4 has great songs and has great lines. You know, nails.
Stallion.
The
Happy birthday, Polly.
Happy birthday, Polly. The Hearts on Fire. Living in America.
Mm-hmm. Living in America, my favourite scene.
Oh man, just so good. 5. There's a great song from Elton John at the end of 5 with the credits called "Measure of a Man." Mm-hmm. That is really good. There's a good little montage.
You gotta have great songs. It's a lucky franchise.
The "Get Up, You Son of a Bitch" Mickey line, that's in that Rocky 5. He has like a little angel on your shoulder. Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. Rocky Balboa is the use of like ESPN shows in that's quite good.
Yeah,
so
which I love when you watch Creed. They also use shows like that.
In Rocky Balboa, he goes. The line in that is, "We can't do sparring because your joints are out." Yours, it's like all these little things ailments that are wrong with him. Just brilliant, you know. The highlights of all the Rocky movies, like the training montage. We're going to talk about the training montage in this one, but like 3 epic training montage, 4 epic training montage.
It would be hard to predict between 3 or 4 which has the best. I think 3 is just such
Creed 2 has a great.
Creed 2, yes,
has a great training montage, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
The Creed one's got the bikes going through Philadelphia, which is pretty cool.
I know there's a lot of great Creed. The only one that's coming to mind is in 3 when he's talking to Tessa Thompson's character, and he's like, "It's dead, let it lie."
Yeah, so good.
I say that.
Yeah. You say that to me all the time.
After that movie, I was saying it all the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just love that delivery. I couldn't help it.
We could talk about the sequels all the time, but we've got to get on to Hottie Hot Takes. Every Thursday on Movie News, we do a segment called Clickbait, which would give us a Hottie Hot Takes. This week we did the Watch or Miss for the shows and movies of September, so you can catch that up on YouTube now and everywhere you get your podcast.
Yes.
Hannah, Hottie Hot Take For you.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Well, let's just say the villain of Rocky.
The whole franchise.
Of the whole franchise, but we're talking about Rocky.
No, but it's the whole franchise.
It's the whole franchise.
Yeah.
The villain is Paulie.
Top 5 evil characters of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's an hindrance.
He's more evil. Okay. He's more evil than the Joker.
Yeah, sure. We'll go into that. But so there's a line in this movie where Rocky goes to this kid and it's like, you hang out with bums, you're a bum, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. So it makes me question, why the hell is he hanging out with Paulie? Yeah. Paulie is the worst type of character.
Well, I think he would have dropped Paulie, but it ended up being his brother-in-law. So he couldn't drop him.
No, of course, but also...
But I think once he would have got rich, he would have dropped him.
Oh,
if he did,
I think he would have gotten busy because he always tried to because Paulie always wanted a job doing because he hated working at the meat factory, so he wanted a different job, and Rocky was beating people for money. He's like, I want that job, come on, I can do it.
He's so evil in this movie.
He's such a hindrance. He keeps knocking. Because Rocky has such low self-confidence. And this guy just knocks out not only Rocky's, but Adrian's.
Yeah.
He is just completely every time. But the hero, can I just say, the hero of this story is Apollo Creed.
He is. He is.
It weirdly,
another hot take from
It's weird that he would be considered a villain because again, he's the guy that gives he just picks Rock by chance. He's like, I love their name, Italian Stallion.
Yeah.
Because it's great.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's it. He doesn't even see him. He doesn't want to watch him. He just is like, I love the name. That's the kid.
Amazing.
And he.
Hannah, it's just brilliant. It's really, it's a great call.
Yeah, the villain's the hero.
In a few of the movies, they try to make Paulie out to redeem him, but he doesn't. He just it just digs in there. And then in 4, when he goes, hit the one in the middle, right? Hit the one in the middle, and then he goes, "Oh, I would be you if I could be anyone else. I would choose you." And then he goes, "Oh, I said that. I changed my mind." And but while he's doing that, he's sold away the rights to.
Yeah.
He's signed
the
away.
Misogynistic, racist person in the franchise. Not only that, he goes to another country and he's wearing a "Don't Tread on Me" a jacket. This guy is a villain. All right,
100%. Let us know what you think if Paulie is a villain or, I think he's top 5 villains of all time.
He's right up there, Darth Vader.
Darth has got more redeeming qualities than Paulie.
He does.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's right up there with Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Out of all the villains that we've seen so far, I reckon it goes probably the worst villain of all time is probably
the guy from Braveheart, played by not Braveheart. What's it? The Mel Gibson Patriot movie, The Patriot.
Yeah, that guy's one.
That
guy's one. 2 is probably Jaws the shark. Real jerk.
I mean, he's just he's just
3 Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I would like to say Jaws is also a shark. So can he get a less points? Because
4
he's just doing his job.
4 Paulie.
Okay, Paulie. Yeah.
Yeah, and 5 the Emperor from the Star Wars.
The Emperor. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Paulie's worse than the Emperor, guys. He is. He is. My hottest hot take, and I've sort of intimated it in what we talked about, but I think this is the greatest romance in the history of film.
Yeah, you're crazy, but continue.
Well, rewatching this movie, and
I would rather you're saying you'd rather be this movie over your Harry Met Sally's or your Don't Cry Shop Girls.
Yeah. Those relationships were no chance of working out.
Fighter.
These two we know. These were life. They were 2 losers that came together. They lifted each other up.
They did. They actually.
Brilliant.
I will say they do.
She actually really liked him at the start. You could tell, and she was trying to hide it.
But she was also shy.
She was very shy.
Honestly, the first time I watched it, I was like, "This guy's a creep."
Yeah. A creepo.
He does. He kind of feels.
Hey, Rocky, screw you, creepo.
But then as they fall into the relationship, I'm like, oh no, it's just how he looks. And
I think Adrian gets a real bad rap. In the second one,
she does. Yes.
She gets a bad rap. In the second one, he's gonna be blind if he gets a hit in the wrong spot.
She's upset.
Then she nearly dies, giving birth to the son, Rocky Jr.
Yeah.
Robert Jr. And then she says, "What are we waiting for? Take us." And she goes, "Win, Rocky, win."
Yeah.
And then the third one, she brings him out.
Yeah.
She
because she knows.
Yeah. And the fourth one, she doesn't want Apollo to fight, right? She says no to Apollo, don't fight. This guy's a weapon, right? And then when Apollo dies, she doesn't want Rocky to anything to do with it. Don't make decisions when you're upset and angry. And then in the fifth one, she is just trying to protect him. She gets a job at the old petrol. Yeah. And then he kills her off in the sixth one. Like, it's just, I think a lot of people don't get what Adrian, she's always just trying to protect him.
Yeah, a lot of the time people don't get the female love interest.
She's just trying to protect him. Like, you know, they protect each other, you know? Like, I just think the whole way through, like, you know, and every time she comes around, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the second one, she comes around and you go, like, okay, I need you to do this for me. You know, you can win.
Yeah.
Go win. You know?
They work
and
it
then
out.
the third one, what am I afraid for? You know? Paul thinks she can do it. So do I.
How'd you get to be so tough?
I married a fighter.
Yeah, she's... Yeah.
And then the fourth one, it goes, I'm with you no matter what.
What? Yeah.
Oh, just so good, you know? Like, and then, like, in the fifth one, she's trying to convince him that he doesn't need anyone else. The family is all he needs. Yeah. They'll you know, we'll get through this together. Like, I think that relationship is the greatest love story in cinema history.
I think it definitely should be in the top list.
Yeah, I think it's great. I've been racking my brain.
I will say people probably just...
They don't see it as that.
They don't see it as that.
Well, they see it as a sports movie. So it's the first sports movie that win the Best Picture.
Yeah, they see it as a sports movie and see it as... Because most sports movies play the female love interest as being the annoying one going, please don't do it. Like,
but she's not like this in the first one. She nothing but supportive in this movie.
Yeah, because they need each other's support to get out of their shells. Yeah.
Especially the way she's treated by her brother.
Oh my god!
Like, she's treated terribly by her brother, and the fact that she came out semi-normal.
Paulie's worse than Cinderella's stepmom. Like, it's like...
Well, you can see why. Like, he had a tough upbringing with his mum and father. Like, he's written Paulie like this.
Yeah.
Like, I think Adrian is him. You know, like, he's writing Rocky.
Yeah,
you know?
someone in it.
The chemistry between Adrian and
Rocky, as soon as they get together, it works.
Well, the scene
when they're ice skating.
Well, let's talk about scene.
We're gonna go scene breakdown.
Scene breakdown. Hope everyone's enjoying the show. If this is the first time you ever seen it because you like Rocky, we do this every week and we're recapping the top 100 movies on AFI. And we're up to movie number 57, and every week we do scene breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first scene, you get the credits from the start. Now, that wasn't originally supposed to do that.
With the trumpet fair?
Yeah, that wasn't originally supposed to do that. What was supposed to happen was just the producer's name and then just some titles and then the first fight.
Yeah.
But they came up with this. He said, Bill Conti, I need some trumpets flaring. He came up with the Rocky. Then he did the fight. That was in California with the Jesus. And the Jesus is sort of a bit where the director said, you know, both of these guys starting in the bottle are underdogs, you know. Yeah. So he fights Spider Rico. And with Spider Rico ends up turning up into Rocky Balboa. And he looks after him and he feeds him and he's in the restaurant with Adrian. And so he fights Spider Rico and Spider Rico fights dirty and Rocky's sort of hanging in there and he's not a really good fighter, he's just like a brawler. And Spider Rico headbutts him and it sort of switches Rocky on and he ends up beating the absolute living daylights out of him. And then you get the scene.
He goes for the body.
Yeah. To the body. And then you get the scene where, you know, Spider Rico goes, you're lucky tonight, you know. And then he's like Rocky just flogged him.
The guy is beat.
So he gets $40 and 55 cents for the win.
Yeah.
Spider Rico gets like $17 or something. And so when can I fight next? Yeah, you can fight in 2 weeks. And so we get out into the scene and then we get the credits and he's walking through the streets. He picks up a drink and, you know, he's walking through the streets. And then the next day we see Rocky at work and he's a collector for a loan shark.
Yeah.
And the loan shark is played by the guy from Godfather too.
Yes.
Yeah. So he doesn't get on with the driver. Then he goes and sees Adrian at the pet stop and he, you know, sort of annoys her and you can sort of see there's a glint of the eye. Yeah. He's got great humour, it's great dad humour. Yeah. And he sees Butkus, who that is actually Rocky's dog.
Yeah.
That's actually Rocky's dog, yeah. Butkus Stallone or something he calls it, doesn't he?
Butkus, yeah.
Yeah, in the credits I think it's Butkus Stallone, I think. And so then he goes across the street and he goes to his locker and his locker's gone. And Mickey has kicked him out of the locker. He goes and goes, "You never give me a chance, Mick." And he goes, I gave you a chance. You started working for a loan shark. You had talent and you wasted it away,
Yeah.
And so you can see the relationship there. Mickey's just you could definitely tell this the racist thing was sort of underlying.
Oh yeah, he was like Dago. He was using terms, but I like. There's like history here. We don't need the full story, but there's history enough to know that
So then he goes and meets Paulie, and Paulie says, "You owe me money." Sylvester Stallone, Rocky says, "You owe me money. Oh, instead of giving me money, I'll get you to date my sister. Because I know you like my sister."
Yeah, so, he's kind of like, "Oh, I'll smooth you over."
So everyone sort of knows that he's going to have a date. So the loan shark gives him $50 to take her out to a nice dinner and stuff like that. It's Thanksgiving, so Paulie brings him over, and Rocky's like, "Did you tell Adrian that you..."
Yeah, because she gets spooked. She's shy.
She's shy. He comes in and there's a strange guy that she's met at the pet store a couple of times. And, you're going out on a date. And then he goes, no, it's Thanksgiving. I made Thanksgiving turkey. And then Paulie takes the turkey, throws it outside. But before he does, he takes the best bit of the turkey, the leg, and he's holding into it. And he's just giving it to Adrian.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about...
Monstrous.
It's just, isn't it?
It's just psychotic.
And Rocky's just there going, "Oh my god, what am I?
I should leave.
He
knows. He's like, I don't like this vibe. But then he goes up to Adrian's door. I love him talking to a door. Yeah. It's like, this is weird.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing that. Like, I should not be doing that.
But he gets into, it's like, we understand, like, I'm alone, you're, like, we should, just give me we'll just go out, do something. He
says a joke, and then she comes out, and they go out for a date.
She walks straight past Paulie. She doesn't say anything. She just grabs her stuff, and they just walk out.
And then, he's walking down the street, and, he moved from the inside to the outside. He's done the real chivalrous thing.
Yeah.
And then he's, telling stories, and then they go ice skating. And I'll tell you a story about the ice skating. So, originally that was written with 300 extras. But the production couldn't afford any extras whatsoever.
They couldn't.
So when Sylvester Stallone turned up to shoot the scene, to his horror, there was only one extra there. So Stallone hastily threw together the scene that we see in the movie.
Which is really cute.
Yeah.
How he gets in.
Yeah.
Because it's closed, and so he manages to get just the
$10 for 10 minutes, and then, he doesn't put ice skates on. He walks. Up. Yeah. It's just beautiful. It's
a really lovely scene from these two. They actually, she's listening to him.
We had seen Rocky before the date see Apollo on the TV saying he's coming to thing, and he has admiration for Apollo,
No, he's the champ.
And he has admiration for the champ.
Yeah.
And so, the Rocky sort of dating Adrian, he goes back, and there's a real awkward scene in her kitchen. The reason I bring up Apollo, it's going to come back around. He brings back Adrian to his kitchen, and they're talking, and there's a real reluctant kiss. Now, at the time, Talia Shire actually had the flu, and she didn't want to kiss the Stallone because they had to fight. And so she was really apprehensive. So it was really awkward, and that really works.
Yeah, because they're awkward. Yeah. These two are quite awkward.
So Rocky is... Why I brought that Apollo thing up, he has admiration for the champ. He has nothing but good intentions for Adrian.
Yeah, is it...
we already seen him in the loan shark. He didn't want to break the guy's thumb.
Yeah,
he has a care for this guy.
If I break his thumb, he can't go to work, and he can't.
But he also didn't want to do that because he didn't want to.
No, he's a nice guy. Which is weird because his exterior gives bum. His exterior, he's just he's just a weirdo.
But he's just a trier. He wants to do he respects the champ. He respects Adrian.
Oh yeah.
He has utmost respect for Mickey, even though Mickey is treating him like garbage.
Yeah.
He wants Mickey to show him a little bit of love.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to say with all this in a little thing, Rocky is just a respectful character, and you want good for him.
Yes. And that's how they build this up.
That's why this works. Out of all the movies, we've seen all these movies, why this works. He's fundamentally a good person that you want him to do well.
Yes.
So Rocky is then Apollo loses his challenger. So he's going through the book of all the fighters in the local
Yeah, because
area.
they discussed other,
and
you know,
no one wants to
top
fight
10 fighters. They're all scared.
Because to fight for the world title, you actually have to be in the top 10. So really, the Rocky couldn't fight for the title.
No.
Because you have to be in the top 10 to fight for the title, right?
Yeah.
So Apollo's going through the book and, you know...
Because they've gone for an angle.
Yeah.
Where instead of, you know, we can't have a contender fight, but let's make it a gimmick fight.
Yeah.
Let's go an underdog from Philly.
It's the bicentennial of America.
Yeah.
You know, the ultimate underdog against the champion.
Yeah, America's Day. Come on.
It's the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, how much we love America.
It's such a great turn. Like,
it's hook.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It works.
And you got, like, the promoter, like, you know, Jurgens, who's like a horror movie actor. Like, that's what he's from background. And you could just tell the way he is.
Yes,
oh, this is a good idea, you know. And so they offer Rocky the slot. Now, Duke, the trainer, which you don't know his name, is the Apollo trainer, goes, I don't want anything to do with Cyclo. He goes, no, I'll knock the bum out in 3.
Yeah.
And so they invite Rocky thing, and so he talks to Mick, who says, oh yeah, I think they're looking for sparring. And he goes, oh, I think they're looking for sparring. And then Rocky goes, but Mickey goes, I just told you that. I just told you that, you know?
Yeah, he's just so done with him.
Yeah.
He's a little bit jealous that they would go to this guy. They would go to Rocky out of all.
So Rocky,
out of all his fighters.
Yeah, so Rocky goes there and says, okay, I'll make sure that I don't hurt the champ. I won't take any cheap shots. I'll be a great sparring partner. It'll be a great honour to because the promoter goes, hey mate, you're not being sparring. You're going to fight for the World Heavyweight Champion. And he goes, no thank you. And like, that is one of the best bits of this movie.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
Because he knows I have no reason. I don't deserve it. I'm just a fighter. I'm like a bum. You know, I don't deserve to be in the same ring as the heavyweight champion of the world, Apollo Creed.
So respectful.
And just so respectful, and just the way he says it, he goes, no, thank you. and then he goes, no, do you believe? Yeah, I believe it's the land of opportunity. Like, another bit of that scene where he gives the lady the card saying, you're going to... And then he wants to come back. Because he wants to say
that
memento. The memento of this thing. And then so he gets given the opportunity. He's going to get paid $150,000 for the fight.
Right. It's
like more money than he's ever seen in his whole life. They're watching the recap on television.
Yes, of his interview.
With Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
Polly's there. Polly's trying to get a job while he's doing this. You know, you need a manager. You need someone to do a training. He goes, no, Polly, I don't need anyone. I'm done.
I'm going to do it by myself. Yeah.
People, the reporters and Apollo are poking fun at him, and Rocky's like brushing off. He's like, and he gives a shout out to his girlfriend Adrian.
Yo, Adrian!
And like Adrian's like, I can't believe you did that. You know?
And she's like,
And then he goes, I'm going to be back at 7:00 tomorrow morning. Like, he has to leave because Polly's been an absolute jerk, as usual, your favourite individual.
No!
And then he says to Adrian, you know that thing that he said to me? I did get...
Yeah, all that stuff they said to me, it did. I did feel it. Which is like, he's not the most expressive, emotive person. It's just he won't say he's upset. But like in that moment, he was real with her.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
So... Rocky goes home. He's getting ready for the next day where he has to start training. But before that, he gets a visitor, and he's slowly working upstairs. It's the 76-year-old is Mickey. Watching this last night, I said to you, that is like you have to suck in so much to walk up those stairs and ask to be his manager.
Yeah.
He would have to just swallow so much pride to do that because he was so mean to him the day that he got told, you know. And he knows that this is his last chance at being something as well. Because he missed his chance of being something. He blamed Jack Dempsey getting knocked out by Lou Ferrigno. You know, I won that night, but because he got knocked out, you know.
I love he goes into...
And he goes, like, all the things that happened to him, and Rocky doesn't want a bar of it.
Because he knows what it is.
And then so he leaves, but then he doesn't actually leave because he forgot his hat. And then he leaves, and then Rocky starts yelling at the top of his lungs after he's walking down the steps, you know, where were you when I needed you, you know, like,
He gets out all of his, like,
frustration. He's just yelling at the top of his lungs. And Mickey's hearing this, and he's walking down the stairs. Like, that scene where, like, Mickey, Burgess Meredith, and this is why I think he should have won Best Supporting Actor. He is giving out so much vulnerability there.
Oh,
like
through the entire conversation.
Like, he's just trying to say, mate, I know I've done wrong by you, but I can look after you. I can see all the pitfalls. Like, you know, this is your one chance.
This is your one chance. This is my one chance. Come on, man.
And, like, Mickey, I don't know, like, I don't know if he's convinced himself, but he thinks that Rocky can win. And Rocky doesn't.
He had said that, like, if you're a great fighter, you know, why'd you... Like, he's so upset that he went to be a debt collector because he was like, this could have been a great kid. So he's always believed. But
then Rocky goes, Rocky goes, why didn't you help me? And Mickey goes, and then you never asked. If you would have asked, I would have helped you. And, you know, so they just weren't on the same page. And then you think that's the end. And then Rocky runs downstairs and then chases him down. And you do not hear anything from the scene.
They have this lovely conversation.
And it's wide shot, and you get a shake of the hand, and then that's the end of the scene. And they do this a lot where they fade to black, and then that's the end of the scene, and they start the next scene.
Yeah.
And then the next scene is the famous, first iconic training montage of the thing.
Yeah, and he's struggling.
Drinks 4 eggs. You couldn't do that in Australia because eggs are, you know, hard to get by these days, the avian flu. He has 4 eggs and he goes for a run. And that running scene, you first said he's really struggling to breathe.
I love it. It's great to see this.
You know the other one that they did?
Yeah,
they filmed that 2 days apart. So they do the first one, and that's just good acting by Mr. Sloan, you know? And so then he goes to Paulie's meat shop, and then he's still trying to get him a job. Like, Paulie's still trying to ask for a job. Yeah. And Sylvester Stallone goes, no, you're not. Yeah, Rocky goes, no, you're not up for it. You know, you're not the right man for this job. And Paulie goes, mate, you just trying to keep me down. That's all you're doing. And then Rocky wants to beat the other living pulp out of Paulie. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He's like basically said that you've deflowered my sister.
He says some horrible things.
So he's just there to pick up a steak, and he's just so upset. So then he just starts beating the meat.
Well, beating a rat meat, yes.
Yeah, he starts beating the absolute bejeebers out of the meat, and then he goes, "Oh, you've broken the ribs." He goes, If we do that to Apollo Creed, they're going to charge you for manslaughter. You know, like it's just absolute, just a jerk. He's trying to make up for it because he knows that he could absolutely beat the absolute bejeebers out of him.
But,
so that's the iconic for the meat scene, which we used, you know, many times since. And then he goes back to Paulie's house with Adrian, and Adrian's sort of like trying to get on with him, you know. And he's sort of like, he's just upset because he's just got into a fight with Paulie.
Yeah.
Adrian's all over him. And then, you know, just make the meat. And then you see, like, Adrian's like, oh, this is just another guy tormenting me, being nasty to me. Right. And then Rocky thinks, and he goes, hey, come here. He goes, oh. And then she looks away. No, come here. And they have a hug. Like, it's just so heartwarming.
It's a compassionate moment.
Just so, like, I don't want you to I don't want to treat you like that. I don't want you to treat you like your brother. I'm different. And in that scene, you show how different he is, you know?
Sweet.
It's just so sweet. It's just, just the sweetest.
You need it, because you gotta love this guy. Yeah. You gotta love Rocky with all your heart.
So then, Rocky, next time you see him, he's training with Mick, and Mick tells him no sleeping with Adrian, because women weaken legs. So Rocky has to fight with piece of string there, because he's got poor balance. So he's another training scene.
Yeah.
And then you see Rocky turn up to Paulie's meat place again. Paulie's on the drink. He goes, oh, I've done something. He walks in and there's a camera there. He goes, oh, I hate this. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. And then
Paulie starts commercializing.
Yeah, he starts to make a little bit of money off Rocky. And so he fights in front of the camera, and then the trainer, Duke, is watching the film. He goes, hey, Apollo, I think you should come watch our boy here.
And
he goes, I'll have coffee. You know, he's not concentrating at all.
Thinking about
you actually didn't see Apollo train at all in this fight. You just, does he train? You know, and Duke's like, this guy's serious. You know, he's absolutely. And then the reporter lifts up his left hand and goes, Meatworks, Southpaw.
Yeah.
Italian Rocky Balboa. Like, it's just a great sports reporting. Like, it's really good, you know. Then you get the fallout of Paulie and the Meatworks and the trying to keep me down, and then so Adrian moves out. She brings Butkus over for him. Butkus goes training with Rocky, and then you get the real good training. You get the Gonna Fly.
The iconic training
I'm gonna fly
scene.
Now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Running up those steps, like those steps are amazing. Like being up those steps, and if you go there, if you haven't been there, it's a bucket list item for all like movie fans.
Yeah.
There's like feet molded on top of the steps, and then there's Rocky statue, which you see in number 3. It's just down on the right hand side if you're looking from the statue.
Yeah, they moved it. Yeah.
That's an amazing scene. Just an amazing scene. And then the callback for number 2, where he's running through the streets with the kids. Is really good too.
It's one of the best movie scenes.
And then like he brings the cut man, and he's got I can I think we've got something here. I really do think we've got something.
Yeah, Mickey is so happy.
Yeah,
he really believes in Rock.
Yeah.
It's uplifting. It's good.
So then we get the night before the fight, and then Rocky he can't sleep, and so he goes to the auditorium, and the colours are wrong.
Yeah, so there's giant posters of the two fighters, and
it's a terrible poster of Rocky Balboa. Like, it does not look anything like him. Like, Polo's is awesome.
Yeah.
Get that.
Charming.
But his colour's wrong. That was actually a problem that the production company did. So they created that little line.
Oh, that's
good. And then Jurgensen, the promoter, goes, "Does it really matter, kid?" He goes, "Doesn't." And then it dawns on Rocky.
They don't really care about it.
They don't really care about him. There's no chance that he can win this fight.
Yeah.
He goes home and says to Adrian, "I've got no chance of winning this fight. I've got absolutely none." And it's just, oh my God.
But he's like, I just want to go
I just want to go the distance. I just want to say, I just want to prove to myself and everyone that I can finish something.
No one has gone the distance with Apollo. Like, Apollo's this good. Like,
he's like the Muhammad Ali of movie boxers.
A lot of them were scared to
he's the greatest of all time, and he's modeled on Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. Yeah. And so, he's never gone the distance in his whole life. He's always fallen short, and so this is his chance. He's given Paulie the chance to sell the robe rights to him, so he has his robe,
which says Italian on it.
Yeah, it also has the Meatworks on it. He got $3,000 for it, Paulie. Mickey goes, "What are you selling yourself? What did you get for it?" He goes, "I got the robe." And what did he get? He got $3,000. And then Mickey goes, "Shrewd."
And then when he's coming out, Paulie comes...
Yeah, and he's there with a prostitute.
And he's like, "I got my date for $200. And she's like, $250.
And so, but he leaves Adrian in the sheds.
He's like, wait for me. It's
like, I don't want you to see me get absolutely pulverized.
Yeah. And she probably doesn't want to watch.
So he gets up there, and even the commentator's saying that no one gives us a chance, but the stadium's sold out. Like, it's a local boy, made good, the Italian guy.
They show footage of the bar that he would frequent, full of people watching the fight. And
then we get your man, Apollo Creed, come out, just dressed up as George Washington.
Yeah, as a founding, he's going on the boat.
Like, him as an African American dressing as George Washington, he's so good.
Yeah, they make a play on the fact that, isn't it funny you're fighting a white guy? Isn't it funny he's fighting a black guy?
Yeah,
it's
so
like
good.
They play on the ideas, and it's like it doesn't matter at the end.
And then so he goes up, and he's up in the top, and then he transforms from George Washington to Uncle Sam.
Yes.
And he gets the hat. You get the iconic shorts that Rocky wears in number 3, and he wears number 4, and then Adonis wears in Creed 1. And then you get
Pura Americana.
You get the start of the fight, Rocky.
I want you, Rock.
Yeah.
I want you.
Start of the fight, the first round. We've waited a long way to get into this movie. This movie goes for 2 hours, and we get
the fight's probably
the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, 10 to 15.
Last 15 minutes. It's not much of all. It's for a supposed fighting movie. You see one little bit of fight at the start, and then one at the end.
Training. And that's it.
Yeah. You don't see Apollo train at all. So Apollo's just just jab, 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 and then finally Rocky throws some haymakers, doesn't connect, and then finally he does connect and he knocks him down, and it shocks the whole world.
It
shocks Creed into the, and he comes back, and then the last punch of the round he breaks Rocky's nose, who's never bought back, and then he goes, "Oh, how is it?" And Mickey goes, "It's an improvement," and then and then so you get Apollo. He goes, I know. I'm going to keep this guy around. And Duke the trainer goes, "No, you need to drop him. You need to drop this bum and let's get out of here." Like, this guy doesn't think this is a fight. This guy thinks this is a real fight. You know? And so the next round, and they're just going at it.
Yeah, they skip time. They do a
montage. You slowly see that the face is starting to.
Rocky has to get his eye cut. Because it's...
Well, that's at the end. But, so, the most expensive part of this movie was the makeup.
Yeah, okay, I see that,
Because as they go through the montage of the round 2, round 3, round 4...
The blood,
it's slowly... His eyes are starting to slowly swell.
Both him and Apollo's, it's very obvious.
Then you get to the second last round, and Rocky is getting absolutely pulverised, but then he fights back and he breaks Apollo's ribs. Apollo is splitting out blood, and the commentator Stu Nathan, who's a actual real commentator, Apollo's spitting out blood, and so then he goes, "I'm going to stop the fight." And you're not going to stop the fight at all. And then Mick's trying to say, "You need to stay down, Rock, stay down." And then he gets up and he goes, "Rock, we're going to stop this fight." And he goes, "You need to stop at nothing." And then he goes, "Cop me, Mick, cop me." And they go, "I don't want to do it." And he goes, "Yeah, you do it." So he cuts him and he goes, "You gotta stop this fight." He goes, no. So he gets up, and then they're talking, but you can't even hear. And he's like, we had subtitles, and you can't even understand what they're doing. And they're really going for it hard. Sylvester Stallone's dad in real life rings a bell, and Rocky's finishing strong, and everyone's cheering and everything, and you don't know who wins.
No.
And Apollo goes, "I don't want a rematch," and then Sylvester Stallone, Rocky goes, "I don't want one." And so then the commentator gets in the thing and he's talking to Rocky.
How do you feel?
And all he wants is Adrian. Now,
Adrian.
Unbeknownst to Rocky, she has come and started watching the last round of the fight. Because she thought, why is the fight not ended? It's still going.
She's so worried about it.
She's so worried, comes out and she sees, and then Rocky getting up and they're like, calling him to come on, and she closes her eyes and going, "I can't believe, look at him." I'm getting emotional just thinking about this.
But she goes to him.
So there was Rocky and the director fought about the ending.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rocky wanted the fight known that him and Creed was the winner, and that you knew that Rocky lost, but the director said, "No, I want ambiguity." So they did not agree or whatever. But on the resolution of the Rocky and Adrian story, on viewing the cut, it wasn't clear. So something was missing. So they brought Adrian in. That was the thing. And when he gets in the thing, and when she gets into the ring and Paulie helps her, making Paulie out to be a good guy at the end.
Yeah, towards the end.
Makes me sick. And then she comes into the ring and the line, "Where's your hat?" That was an ad-lib line.
"Where's your hat?"
Yeah, he goes, "I love you," and he goes, "I love you too." That was the end of the movie, and you don't know if Rocky or Apollo won the fight.
Which is good.
Which is perfect, and that's the end. It's just a perfect ending to a great movie.
Because what you wanted to see was an underdog fight his way, prove himself, which he does. He proved himself. He went all the way.
And when Sylvester Stallone watched the test screening of that, he said, "That's the right ending. You got it right." It was perfect.
It was. It
perfect.
Truly is.
What a great movie. I hope everyone enjoyed our scene breakdown.
Yeah.
Let's go into reasons too. It's uplifting. It's heartwarming. It's against all odds. It is. David versus Goliath is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Any reasons too for you?
Reasons to, I would say it's, one of the best, if not the best underdog story.
Yeah. Greatest love story ever told. Awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Reasons not to.
There's no second one.
There is. I'll tell you.
Paulie?
Yes. Well, he's one. But if you're not a fan of Sylvester Stallone, you will not like this movie.
Okay.
Because he's an acquired taste. I can see why people don't like him.
Oh, I see it further on in his other movies. I don't see it in this one because I think in Rocky, the first one at least, it works so well in this role. I think I think any Rocky movie afterwards, he is playing an over.
But I can see
but
if it's sort of like if you like a lot of people don't like Sylvester Stallone and don't like Tom Cruise, and when they go back to watch their early stuff, they don't like it. But I'm a fan of those guys, and going back to watch their early work, I love them even more.
Actually, it wasn't until recently that because I didn't like Tom Cruise because I'd only seen certain movies and I didn't like Tom Cruise. The only movie I think I liked was Edge of Tomorrow. No, A Few Good Men and Edge of Tomorrow, right? Yeah. But then when you were like we were going back. There was a force.
I was doing real poorly stuff, was I? Am I the poorly brother?
No. Never. No, we went back, I watched all the Mission Impossible movies, I went back further, watched all these other Tom Cruise movies. I started to actually go, wait, no, I kind of like this guy. He's got something. There are movies where I'm like, no, I hate everything about it.
Yeah.
But, no, when I went back through his earlier work, I enjoyed him more as an actor, because I see where he, transitioned from, film star to action star, and so I got to see that.
Amazing.
But I think sometimes people don't. But with Sylvester Stallone, I get it for everything else, but not with Rocky. I think the first one at least, he's really great. He's doing the role.
That's a great.
He's the underdog, and if you don't like the underdog, then you just don't like underdogs.
Yeah, it's
You're the villain. You're the carny. You're the one bringing people down.
Great call, him.
He's the villain.
Does this deserve to be on the list?
Yeah, 100%.
Higher? I mean, you know what? I think it deserves to be higher.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think
it's hard to say because this is pure Americana.
Yeah.
An Americana story should have an underdog.
Yeah.
And later on this list, we don't have that many underdogs, let's say. Because I've seen the rest of this list. It's not really underdog. It's
George not an underdog?
No, some of them.
Jaws not an underdog?
Jaws. Nah, I think he's pretty leveled with humankind. I think he's a little bit overpowered. Some would say. The only thing he doesn't have is land, but that's good. That's good for us.
Well, if you watch other guys, you know.
No. But, there isn't... I would say underdog, you gotta have a great underdog story. This is the best version of that, I would say. Best version.
So we already own a 4K copy of this, but would you recommend people buy this on 4K?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, generally speaking, a lot of people do love the Rocky movies, and they're good to always put on.
Well, they keep making them. They keep making them.
Yeah.
Rocky...
the Creed movies, yeah.
Something that I haven't brought up is, Rocky wanted the rights back, and the producers have never given it. And he wants to give this to his daughters, and as a legacy, because this is going to live on. This is a character. There's talk about doing a prequel before Rocky... for this movie, and so, a TV show about it. This is going to live on forever. We're going to be watching, versions of Rocky... Forever,
I've enjoyed, with Rocky as well, with its legacy, and it's the sequel legacy, which is Creed. A lot of movies that have had sequel legacies, haven't worked out.
Yeah.
And I think Rocky was one of those few ones that it does. Yeah. And you could just, again, years and years later down the line, new fighter, but they're doing kind of Gladiator too. They're I want to be the next Rocky or something. And you can still have the ideas, the momentum.
Would you watch this movie again?
Yes.
Of course. And rating for this one?
It's an all-time classic, is it not?
You know what? I was gonna lament and say, okay, if you thought it was a banger, I was gonna give it a banger.
No,
but it's an all-time classic.
It is.
It's 5 stars.
It's really hard. This movie, even the feel of this movie, we didn't really go into directing or the art style or the photography.
What?
But the way this movie feels and shots, it's
shot like an underground story.
We're watching...
The director did that on purpose,
yeah.
Sam. So his director of photography kept it dark because he wanted to show that it was gritty. This guy was in the streets. This guy was from the streets.
Yeah, if you have gone, I only think of Rocky as the light... musical, over the top nature. When you go back to one, you're like, this was...
How the producers got Sylvester Stallone's star in the other movies is they gave him... they gave him more money, but they also said you can direct it. He wanted to direct movies, so... You
can have a tiger jacket, and then you can have a really nice coat.
Yeah, well, his brother, Frank Stallone, was in the movie. He's singing that Take Me Back, Frank did music in number 3 as well. It's amazing. That's it. let us know what your thoughts on Rocky is, and let us know if you enjoyed the episode today.
Yeah.
Next week is Jaws, starring great Roy Scheider.
Wow.
Also, Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw.
And Bruce the Shark. Isn't it Bruce?
Yeah, I
or
think
is
so.
it...
Yeah. And it's directed by the great Steven Spielberg, which is one of Hannah's favourite directors.
I love that guy.
Thank you for my lovely co-host, Hannah. Thanks to everyone for putting up with me. I was really excited about today's movie. Sorry if I yelled a little bit. I was really excited.
Yeah.
Long live cinema, and until we meet again, it's bye.
Bye.